How y'all doing, good people? I appreciate y'all tapping in to another live. We're gonna get into some discussion today about the real estate fund that I'm getting ready to create. I know some of you know this already because I've done several videos walking you guys through why I decided to create this real estate fund and exactly what I hope to accomplish by creating and starting this real estate fund. But in those videos, I've gotten some feedback from a lot of you guys, and it hasn't been positive feedback. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this live stream video today, to try to clear up a few things. I was getting some comments around the Tulsa real estate fund. I believe the gentleman who started that real estate fund, his name is Morrison. Now, I don't know this gentleman, but I've done some research since I've been getting these comment section of the videos on my Instagram page. People comparing, hey, we got another Tulsa real estate fund getting ready to start up. And I'm thinking to myself, why are people comparing me to someone else? As I started doing a little research, diving into who Jay Morrison is and the Tulsa real estate fund, I kind of started putting two and two together, connecting the dots. Now, again, I don't know Jay Morrison. I don't know anything about his real estate fund other than what I've read online. And everything online is not positive. So let's just start there. I'm not coming at this guy. I'm not coming at his fund. All the allegations that I'm going to discuss with you guys today are out there online. I mean, people are saying some not good things about this fund and how investors feel about Mr. Morrison. And I assume some of those people who saw my video about me starting my own real estate fund may have been investors in his real estate fund. I don't know. That's the only thing I can try to connect the dots is maybe these people were burned. Maybe they wasn't burned. I don't know. Again, guys, these are all allegations. I don't know any of this to be fact. All I know is what I've read online. And my purpose here is not to bash him. The purpose of what I'm doing today is to make you guys aware who I am, and I have no intention of misleading anybody. I have no intention of taking investors' money and not doing what I said I would do. Once again, I'm not saying this gentleman didn't do what he said he was going to do. I'm just telling you what I am going to do and what I'm not going to do. And I just want to make sure I separate anybody out there that's thinking my real estate fund, which is going to be called Prime Real Estate Fund, has anything to do with Tulsa Real Estate Fund. It doesn't. The only correlation I could put together was we're both black men. I don't know if people think all black men have bad intentions when it comes to investing people's money. I don't know. I have no idea. But that's the only connect the dot I could put together, right? Because there are a lot of people out there with real estate funds. Why didn't they compare me to some of those people who have quote unquote good real estate funds that perform and investors are happy? Why not compare me to one of those real estate funds? Why would you compare me to a real estate fund allegedly has not performed well? I don't know. But for those of you that don't know, this Jay Morrison guy and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I know I have a hard time pronouncing Tulsa. I have a hard time pronouncing that, but you know what I mean. I'm just gonna call it the Real Estate Fund. So out online, if you go online, there's quite a bit of stuff. So, and this comes from 8fi. I think that's how you call it. That's how you pronounce it. Some online app that obviously puts out stories about certain things, and that's where I get this from. Again, guys, these are all allegations. I'm not saying any of it is real. I'm not here to attack the gentleman. I just want you to know and be aware of what's out there so then I can walk you through exactly what I'm going to be doing. What are the investors demanding from the Tulsa Real Estate Fund? Investors are demanding evidence, transparency, and accountability for the fund, including ceasing operations, liquidating assets, and returning 20% of their initial investment. That's not good. If your investors are starting to class action against you, to force you to dissolve the fund, liquidate all of the assets in the fund, and then pay them not 100% of what they put in, but 20%, right? That's not good. What is the accusation against Jay Morrison? Again, guys, these are just accusations, right? Doesn't mean it's true. Jay Morrison is accused of fraud and mismanagement of funds, including using the Tulsa Real Estate Fund to purchase his personal residence. That's a pretty heavy accusation right there, guys. Here's another one. How much money is left in the Tulsa Real Estate Fund? According to this information, the fund currently has only $1.48 million in cash remaining from the original $11 million. Wow. That's a pretty heavy accusation, right? Allegation, whatever you want to call it. What percentage of the original investment went towards actual real estate? According to this, only 39% of the original investment went towards actual real estate. Again, that's a tough one, right? So a lot of heavy allegations against this gentleman. Again, don't know if any of them are true, guys. Don't know what in his fund, if anything. I'm just giving you some information that's out here online. Again, not sure if it's factual or not, but I wanted to at least give you some idea of what people are comparing me to. Now, having said that, I have 25 years of experience in commercial banking. And in that 25 years, I've worked with a lot of real estate investors. I was their banker. They were the actual investor. They borrowed a lot of money from the banks that I worked for. I was the lender. I'm the one that underwrote the deal, made sure the deal made sense before we gave this individual or this company, this real estate company, money. I did that for, like I said, 25 years. So I know my way around real estate. I know my way around cash flow. I know my way around just a P&L of a successful real estate property, right? I know what the balance sheet looks like for a successful real estate property. I've worked with clients who've had over $100 million in real estate assets. I've worked with several clients that have well over $100 million real estate portfolio when I was a banker. So I know my way around real estate, whether it's commercial or residential. That's number one. Number two, I've invested in real estate myself personally, residential real estate, 1 to 4 family dwellings for 25 years. Not only have I worked on the banking side of real estate transactions, I've also worked on the owner side. for 25 years. So my real estate experience, I would put up against anybody out there, right? So when you go out and you do a background check on me, you know my full name, have at it. You won't see anything in my past that is questionable, right? Everything I'm telling you, you can go verify yourself pretty easily. You got my name, go out and do a Google search on Richard Fain and see what you come up with. I'm clean. So there is no doubt that, at least in my mind, there's no doubt that I can do what I say I'm gonna do when it comes to real estate because I got the experience to do that. Now this gentleman, I don't know. What I see online is, I don't know what his experience level was when he created this fund. Now, that doesn't mean you got to have a whole bunch of experience to create a fund. If you create the fund and you go through the legal hoops to create it, you promote it to people, people decide to invest in it. I would assume people would go do a background check on the person or the persons or the company before they send them their money. I would hope people did that before they put their money in this Tulsa real estate fund. Tulsa, whatever it is, however you pronounce it. I would hope they did their due diligence. I would hope you, if you decide to participate in my real estate fund, the prime real estate fund, I would hope you do your due diligence on me. I would hope you go out and make sure I am who I say I am. Everyone should do that before they jump into any type of investment like this, especially, sort of a closely held type of real estate fund that is not like a real estate investment trust, where it's just some big old gigantic company, right? Shareholders and all that stuff. This is not what I'm doing. I'm doing something on a really small scale, but I still have to take it through certain regulatory hoops in order to be able to do it. So that's number one. Go do your background check on me to make sure I am who I say I am. Again, not sure everybody did that with this gentleman. And again, I've done some research on this gentleman's background, and I'm not going to hold someone's background against them forever, right? But I think there are some things you want to be careful with when you're talking about giving your money to someone to invest for you. You got to make sure their background matches up with what they're trying to do today. Again, doesn't mean people can't change, because I know this gentleman had some trouble with the law. He went to prison from what I've seen online. Like I said, I don't know him personally. I'm not bashing him personally. I got a lot of friends of mine who have spent time in jail and have gotten out and straightened their life out and are productive citizens and doing very well. So that doesn't mean because he had a little bit of a spotty background that he couldn't come out and do great things. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's one of the things you want to look for. You want to look for someone's background to see if it matches up with what they're trying to get you to do today. And what type of experience, not just someone telling you, hey, I've done this and done that. What tangible proof can they provide you to show you they've done this and been successful at it? That's all I'm saying. So from that standpoint, I'm not sure why folks are trying to connect that, saying, hey, this is another Jay Morrison, this is another Tulsa real estate fund situation, when it's not. It's totally different. We're totally different people. Again, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm just telling you we're two totally different people. Only thing I can see we have in common is that we're black and we're men. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I don't know. Why would people try to connect that dot? I mean, why? So it's really, really disturbing to me if that's how they're connecting the dot, because we're two black men. And what are people saying? All black men are scammers and crooks and not to be trusted? Once again, I'm not saying Mr. Morrison is any of those things. I'm just telling you, I don't know. It just seems like, you know, that's sort of the way people are going with this thing. Because I know a lot of guys out there that don't look like me that do the same thing that this guy is doing with the real estate fund. Now, again, I don't know if there are any mishandling of money or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there are a lot of people from different backgrounds that do real estate funds, right? So hopefully people are not just trying to say a black man, when put in a position to get investors' money, are going to mishandle it. I'm hoping that's not what people are saying, because it's not true. So that was my main thing, was to try to make sure people understood where I stand. And I'm not this gentleman. This gentleman is not me. He don't know me. I don't know him. And again, I'm not trying to bash him. I'm just telling you there are some serious allegations out online about him. Very serious. And hopefully he and his investors will come to some happy medium and resolve this before it escalates any further. I don't know. But if any of that stuff is true, that's very disheartening. That's very disheartening, especially if the main thing you kind of talk with people about was your background and people like you having a chance to come up. At least that's what I saw online when I was doing my due diligence and my research on him. He spoke a lot about his background and how he came from nothing and had his troubles with the law and other things, but then right-sized himself, got on the straight and narrow, got on the business tip, and started doing great things and wanted to give other people who had similar backgrounds a leg up. And that's what this fund was supposed to do. Now, I know the initial amount you could put in the fund, at least from what I've researched, was an investor could put in as little as $500. That's not like my fund. I've already told you guys, minimum investment is $10K. That's the minimum investment. I know there was also some other things that the investors are saying about this fund, that it promised dividends. Also, it promised, a share in any assets that were sold and there was profit to be had, they would share it. Again, I don't know that to be a fact. I'm just going off of what the documents and the information that I've read online. I'm not saying that that's accurate. You guys go out and do your own due diligence, your own research to try to uncover that, but this is what I uncovered. And that's one of the big issues with the investors, at least according to what I've read, is the investors are not sure how you can go from 11 mil down to 1.4 mil. And there has never been a dividend paid or any capital appreciation paid out on property sold. Again, maybe I'm way off base. Maybe that's not accurate, but that's what I read. And again, that's why I keep saying allegations. None of this possibly is true. One of the main sources I looked at was a YouTuber by the name of Pocket Watching with JT. He has an extensive YouTube collection of videos on this gentleman. So if you're interested in more information about this, go check out Pocket Watching with JT. He seems like a good brother, smart brother, CPA, licensed financial guy, all the things he had it. And he seemed like he did a pretty thorough job. So if you're really interested in more information about that, then go check out Pocket Watching with JT. Looks like his information he has is pretty well thought out, and he backs it up with documentation. I mean, I'm talking about financial statements and everything from that real estate fund. So go check him out. But nevertheless, I want to make sure you understand who I am and what my real estate fund, prime real estate fund, right? So where we're at right now is we're in the process of forming prime real estate fund. So we got to form it, right? We got to go through some regulatory hoops. Got to work with a syndication real estate attorney and put together another team of people to do the next step, right? So the next step, once we form Prime Real Estate Fund, then the next step is providing investors with the offering documents, right? What do they get for their investment? Including the private placement memorandum, the operating agreement, and the subscription agreement, right? So we got to form it, right? Got to go through some regulatory hoops. Going to be working with a syndication real estate attorney to do that. Once we do that, then we're going to next step it with the offering documents, right? And then from there, then we will open it up. We'll open up the real estate fund escrow account to accept investor funds. Once we accept those investor funds, we will then move forward with identifying viable properties. Again, 1 to 4 family residential dwellings. That's all we're going to be buying. But we're going to buy them in locations where people have a desire to live. That's the key to real estate. It's location, guys. And the first location I've identified is Boulder, Colorado. A lot of you guys know I'm really good friends with Deion Sanders, AKA Coach Prime. And he's the head football coach at the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, Coach Prime has nothing to do with this. Nothing at all. I'm just giving you guys a little clarity and a little background why I chose Boulder. But Coach Prime has nothing to do with this. Nothing at all. That's not how I roll. My friendship with him is strictly a 45-year-old friendship, and we don't mix business. He does his thing, I do my thing, and we've both been successful in our own lanes. I'm already successful in my own lane. He's successful in his lane. And that's why our friendship has been so good for so many years, because I don't look for anything from him. He doesn't look for anything from me. We're just good friends. But why I chose Boulder is because I've been to Boulder 4 times this year, checking out his situation with the football team. And while I was there those 4 times, I was able to get a lay of the land. So I'm a real estate guy. I'm a business guy. So when I see an opportunity, I'm one of these people that know how to size it up pretty quickly and then take advantage of it if I need to, right? So I looked at the situation in Boulder and I said to myself, this is a perfect place to buy residential real estate. You got great lifestyle. I think you got great weather. Yes, it gets cold, but you got the mountains, you got the snow. I mean, you got Vail nearby, Aspen, you got Denver, Colorado, which is where the Broncos are at, and it's I guess it's a top 25 city. You got Colorado Springs, a couple hours away. I mean, Colorado itself as a state is a great state, right? So Boulder just provides such a great lifestyle. People are really health conscious. And what I really like about it is when you look at the appreciation statistics for real estate there, residential real estate, you're talking about 7 to 10% per year in appreciation on properties. When I did my math on the area, my analysis, I think you can get a 15 to 30% cash on cash return. That's what I believe. And that's where I'm going to focus the real estate fund in that location first, right? We're going to test it out there, try to put together a blueprint that we can then take that blueprint and take it to other areas of the country where people have a desire to live. That's the key, right? It's a destination spot. It provides these people something that attracts them there. Whether we like it or not, guys, you're going to either own a property or you're going to rent a property, right? You're going to own or you're going to rent. I think a lot of people have started the process of just renting and not owning anymore. So I think it's a perfect opportunity to start a fund, offer my subscribers, my followers, the opportunity to be a part of this fund. I thought that would be a wonderful idea. So what I've heard from you guys, right? What I've heard from you is you think it's a good idea as well. Because guys, I'm telling you, I've gotten at least 250 real inquiries just on a couple of videos that I've done where people are saying, hey man, I've been following you, I've been rocking with you. I know you're giving us good financial experience and wisdom. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't try to be a financial advisor. You guys know that. That's not my thing. If you want to go get a financial advisor, go get one. Nothing against them. I just don't use them, right? Because when I invest in paper assets, I'm pretty simple with mine. I don't have a complex investment portfolio because I don't need one. I'm going to buy ETFs and index funds that do what? Track the S&P 500 and the total stock market. That's all I need. And then I'm going to sprinkle in some individual stocks. You guys know I'm starting a Magnificent 7 stock portfolio. Just a little sidebar. I'm starting a Magnificent 7 stock portfolio. I'm going to be putting $1,000 a week in that stock portfolio, split up between 7 big boy blue chip tech companies. Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Alphabet, Nvidia, and Tesla. Those are the Magnificent 7 from the S&P 500 index. Go out and do your research. Those are the Magnificent 7. My goal with the Magnificent 7 is to invest $1,000 a week for the next 15 months. My goal is to double my money. So I'm going to put $62K in. I want to have $125K in that investment portfolio in 15 months. I believe it can happen because if you look at the Magnificent 7 this year, and you just pull them out from the S&P 500 and look at them collectively, ROI, 92%. So there's an opportunity, in my opinion, to take $1,000 per week and put it in the Magnificent 7, and let's see how it does. Now, I don't recommend that for everybody. But for a guy like me, where 97% of my money that I invest goes into passive investments like ETFs and index funds that track the S&P 500 index, they track the total stock market, and they track sectors. That's where 97% of my money goes because I don't want to be the expert, right? That's passive investing. But when I do want to do some active investing, which is 3% of my portfolio, I want to put it in big boy blue chip stocks, right? I want to put it into too big to fail blue chip stocks. And I know a lot of you are saying, oh, nothing's guaranteed. No, it's not. But I always tell you guys, if there's no risk, there's no reward, right? That's life in general, right? If we want something in this life, we're going to have to risk something to get the reward. So I don't mind taking a small portion of my portfolio and dedicating it to being an active investor, while 97% is being passively invested. And that's where the bulk of my wealth is, right? So I just wanted to give y'all that little sidebar, but let's get back to the Prime Real Estate Fund. So that's where we're at, guys. We're working on forming this entity, right? Syndication real estate attorney. And then once we form it, and it's all legal, then at that point, we'll come out with the offering documents, right? Including the private placement memorandum, operating agreement, and the subscription agreement. So all of those things will come out after we form. And then once those things are out and we can gauge investor interest, at this point, I think we're going to be fine. Like I told you guys, I've already gotten at least 250 DMs or emails from people saying, hey man, 10K is great, let's do this, or people are willing to put in more. But again, my thing is not collecting any money until we're ready to take on money to buy properties. And that was one of the allegations against Mr. Morrison and the Tulsa real estate fund, is that they started with 11 million, they got 1.4 left. Where did all the money go? I don't know. They'll have to figure that out. Hopefully, Mr. Morrison has a good explanation for it. Hopefully, they can work this thing out, because I hate to see black folks, a black man heading up something, and then most of the investors are black, right? And it's just a debacle. I hate to see that, because the first thing people are going to say, the greater country is going to say is, see, I told you, these folks can't do nothing right. These folks can't manage high-level real estate funds. They can't manage high-level investment portfolios. They can't handle, and all that is not true, but that's what people tend to say when you see anything black on black. You got a black man at the head, you got black investors, they're squabbling. Somebody did something wrong. Somebody misappropriated something. Somebody did something. That's just a bad look. And again, I'm not saying the gentleman did anything wrong. I'm just saying it's a bad look. That's not going to happen here on my end. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, right? Because I'm not doing this to get over on anybody. I've already built a level of wealth, guys, where I'm at financial freedom. I don't have to do a real estate fund. Why would I? You know, I spent 25 years in banking, built wealth doing that. I invested in real estate in the stock market for 25 years too, built wealth in that. And then I came on this YouTube platform almost 4 years ago and have turned it into just an incredible way to help people. And a byproduct of helping people, I make an incredible income doing it. So I had no reason to try to form a real estate fund to rip people off. I'm good. If you guys have been following my journey, y'all know, if you've been following this YouTube channel for any time, especially since 2020, y'all seen my lifestyle. Y'all seen some of the things that I've done and places I've been and cars that I've owned, and I've never asked you guys for a dime. Never. Still to this day, I haven't asked you for a dime. I'm not pitching every little thing that comes across my desk. Guys, I get tons of emails every day from people wanting me to promote stuff to y'all, and they're gonna pay me to do it. I turn them all down. The only thing I've ever promoted to you guys, two things. Well, now three things. I promoted Weeble, right? I promoted Weeble to you guys because I use Weeble. Weeble is a self-directed brokerage app that I use every single day and have been using it for 2.5 years. All of my paper assets that I currently buy, like I said, with the Magnificent 7 stock portfolio I'm getting ready to build and put that $1,000 a week into it, that's gonna all be done on the Weeble app. And the reason I'm doing it on the Weeble app, number one, is because I use Weeble every day. That's my main brokerage account. But it's also gives people the ability who don't have $1,000 a week to put in. They can put in as little as $5 and buy a fractional share of one of those Magnificent 7. That's one of the neat features about Weeble that I really, really like, because any level of investor can use that app to buy their favorite ETFs and their favorite individual stocks with as little as $5 through fractional share trading. Plus they have automatic investing as well. So it's a good brokerage app. That's the only one I use, so that's the one I promote. That's the one you'll see a link down in the description box of this video. There'll be a link right at the top for Weeble. If you click on it and you sign up and put some money in the account, right, they're gonna give you up to 12 free stocks. But better yet, you're gonna have amazing brokerage app to be able to start buying paper assets to start building your wealth. And if you wanna track and mirror what I'm doing with the Magnificent 7, you certainly can. No obligation. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And if you want to piggyback, mirror, then do it. No risk, no reward. There's no guarantees in this life, guys. If I was afraid of a little bit of risk, I'd be broke right now. You know, there's no reason to be afraid if you can go look at historical data that supports the case for investing in something. Now, if you out here ain't doing no research, you don't got no historical data, and you heard your neighbor say, here's a nice stock tip, and you put all your money in and you lose it, that's not the type of risk I'm talking about. I'm talking about looking at proven, historically proven investments that multiply money. I would say the Magnificent Seven historically have made people a lot of money. And they continue to make people a lot of money. If they were not making people money, why would they represent 28% of the S&P 500? The S&P 500 has the top 500 companies in America in it, guys. And those 7 companies I just gave you, they represent 28% of the S&P 500. The other 493 companies, they represent 72%. These guys are heavy hitters. Apple. Think about Apple, guys. Apple is the most valuable company in the world behind the United States, because the United States is a company. The United States number 1. Apple's number 2, right? And if you look at NVIDIA, this year, NVIDIA, over a 200% ROI. Just NVIDIA. So, again, I ain't got a crystal ball. I can't tell you that we'll be successful. But what I can tell you is that when I look at the historical data, the historical performance data, it all points to these guys are winners. So I got to go with it. There's always a chance I could lose the 62K, but there's always also a chance I could double it or triple it or quadruple it. So I'm one of these guys, I'm willing to have a higher level risk tolerance if I got historical data to support it. Now, if my neighbor comes over and says, hey man, we got this thing we getting ready to do. We're looking for 100K from each one of you guys to put into this unproven concept, but we're gonna make a lot of money in it. No, I ain't doing that. Thank you very much, but I'll pass. See, I don't roll like that. I'm conservative that way. I've passed up a lot of opportunities for these won't fail type things. I don't do that. I got to have some proven historical data before I put my money in it, right? So, real estate fund, Magnificent Seven, Weeble. Those are the only 3 things, guys, I've asked you guys to, and RF Financial Consulting, where I do the one-on-one sessions, but I don't really ask you guys to do that. If you do it, you do it, right? I put a little video at the end of my normal edited videos, talks about my company, RF Financial Consulting, which is basically where I spend an hour with my clients and we dissect their financial situation. It's not any attempt to try to give them financial advice. I'm a consultant. I got 25 years of financial experience in banking dealing with multi-millionaires, right? I also have 25 years of experience investing on my own, real estate and the market and the stock market through paper assets. I've also successfully built side hustles that have made me a lot of money over the years. I've also, 3.5 years ago, well, almost 4 years ago, started on this YouTube channel, went from zero income, to a pretty nice income, guys. Why? Because I'm experienced and I understand how to make money, keep it, and multiply. You ain't got to be no financial advisor to know how to do that. You ain't got to be some real estate guru to know how to buy real estate. All you got to know about real estate is location. You go find the very best location where people have a desire to live. Come hell or high water, they gonna live there. That's where you buy real estate. And then you go in that community and you find the most modest house there. not some big old gigantic Mac Daddy house. Go buy the most modest house there. See, people don't buy for the house. They buy for what's around the house. They buy for the amenities. They buy for the good schools. They buy because it's near work. They buy because it's near this, it's near that. I like this, I like that, and it's all there. It's a great neighborhood, great schools. That's why people buy. Right? It ain't the house. It's the location. So if you fix on the location, just like the prime real estate fund will be doing, I don't think we miss. I think it's realistic to get 15 to 30% cash on cash return. And of course, investors will get a quarterly payout. The payout is subject to what? Collecting rental income, paying expenses, and having net profit. That's the way it works, guys. Ain't no rental income, can't pay the expenses, ain't no net profit, you can't get a dividend, right? So you gotta have rental income, and you gotta manage your expenses, right? You gotta maximize your rental income, you gotta minimize your expenses, and then you got profit, you got cash flow. That's when you can pay out the quarterly dividend, right? But I believe we'll have that. And then what do? You get compounded appreciation over the next 3 to 5 years, because that's really where we're gonna hold the property, 3 to 5 years. So I get compound appreciation. Let's say we hold the property 5 years. Let's say we pay $2 million for it. Pay $2 million for a property. In that 5 years, it gives us nice cash flow. But also it's appreciating at 8% a year, compounding. So, right, 40%, right? 40%. And on a $2 million piece of property over 5 years, 40% appreciation, that's an $800,000 upside, right? But when you multiply that by a $20 million or a $30 million or a $50 million real estate portfolio, and you're averaging, you know, anywhere from a 7 to 10% appreciation on a $50 million portfolio every year, and you hold that portfolio for 5 years, you can see how lucrative that is. And that is happening in Boulder, Colorado. Go out and do your homework. Go out and look at Boulder, Colorado, and look at its residential properties and see how they appreciate. I think I looked at a statistic online where since, I'm not going to even mention that. It's a crazy number though. Let's stick with 7 to 10%. I think that's realistic. So if you're interested in the prime real estate fund, all you got to do is DM me on Instagram at RichardFain28, or you can email me. Now, both my Instagram handle and my email address is in the description box of this video. So all you got to do is go down to the description box. You'll see my Instagram handle and you'll see my email address. If you're interested in being an investor in the prime fund, drop me an email, because what we're doing now is just collecting interest. So once we form this thing, then we're going to take all of that interest and we're going to spit back out to the interest. Let's go. As Coach Prime would say, let's go. Let's go. So that's what we're going to do, right? And I think it's going to be wonderful, man. Like I said, man, I've been around real estate for a long time. And real estate ain't that hard, guys. Some people try to make it hard, but it's not. Buy location, man. Buy good properties and good locations where people have a desire to live. Take care of your tenants, right? Manage your expenses. Save for a rainy day. And you're good. And then you just hold that property and watch that appreciation. I've done it for 25 years, guys. That's how I made all my money in real estate, not off the cash flow. I made all my money off the appreciation. Buy a single family home, stick a tenant in it, hold it for 10 years. If it's in a good location where people desire to live, it's going to appreciate in value. Oh, what if there's a real estate crash? Okay, guess what I do when a real estate crash? I buy more real estate in locations where people have a desire to live. Because we ain't gonna be on a real estate crash forever. At some point, it's gonna right size itself and go right back up again. AKA 2008. I bought a property in 2006 at the height of this thing, right? 2008 crash came, boom. Property value went down to half of what I paid for it. I didn't panic. What I did was I kept a tenant in that property, and I kept that property for 14 years. Got cash flow paid the mortgage, paid the expenses, put money in a rainy day fund. 14 years later, I sold the place for a profit. Why? Because people have a desire to live there. And I knew at some point real estate comes back. You know, if you're buying great locations. Now, if you're buying some shady location, I don't know what's going to happen. But see, I'm not buying in any shady locations with the prime real estate fund. It's going top shelf locations. I'm not saying rich and ritzy locations, but great locations where people have a desire to live, residential locations. So if you're interested in that, drop me an email or drop me a DM. Again, guys, 10K is going to be our initial minimum investment amount. Now, you can go higher than that if you want, but 10K is where we start, right? As long as the regulatory hoops allow me to do that. But that's my goal, is to have 10K, because I want people who already got the emergency fund put together. They already got their consumer debt under control. You know, they already have started, you know, investing in their future. I want those types of people in this fund, because I don't want people coming in with their last, because as soon as they hit a little financial bump in the road, they're going to be knocking on my door saying, I want my money back. Give me 10 grand back. Give me 5 grand back. Give me 3 grand back. I don't want to deal with that, because there's a 3 to 5 year hold on those funds. That's going to be stipulated in the documentation that you're going to receive. So I need to have people that, you know, have their financial house in order if they're going to put their money in this fund, because it's a 3 to 5 year hold, right? Certainly, the goal is to get your quarterly dividends. And then once we exit the property, you get your windfall, potentially. We don't know. We don't got a crystal ball, but I think if I lean on history, I believe you're going to do well. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and send me that email or send me that DM. I'm just collecting people of interest. And by the end of the year, though, we should have prime real estate fund formed legally. And then after that, boom, we're gonna accelerate this thing in 24, right? The other thing I want to touch base real quick again is on the Magnificent Seven. If you guys are interested in mirroring or piggybacking what I'm doing with the Magnificent Seven stock portfolio, I need you to click on that Weeble link down in the description box. Now, some of you guys that rock with me and been rocking with me already good to go. All you got to do is be looking out for the updates that I'm going to be doing weekly starting next week, because that's when I'm starting to put the $1,000 in next week. Matter of fact, Monday, I'm dropping the 1,000 in, and I'm going to drop a video and let you guys know. And I know over the last couple of days, some of the Magnificent Seven have been operating or trading in the red. Perfect. Keep trading in the red. Tesla's all the way down to like 214. I'm loving it. Keep going down, because when it bounces, it bounces. And that's where you make your money, right? I buy in the red. At least that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to buy in the red, and I like to sell in the green, right? But in this case, I'm going to hold it for 14 or 15 months. Unless, the only way I sell earlier than that is if I hit my investment goal, which is 125. So I'm putting in 62. If I hit 125, I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to exit. So if I hit 125 in month 9 or month 5 or month 2, I'm exiting. But if I don't hit that, I'm going to hold until my target date, which is 15 months from next Monday. So if you're interested in that and you have not signed up for the Weeble app, there's a link down in the description box. Go down there, click on that Weeble link, get you up to 12 free stocks for just signing up and putting money in the account. You got to fund the account, or them folks ain't going to give you 12 free stocks. They're not. You ain't going to just do the little application and be like, oh, where my 12 stocks? No, it don't work that way. They want people who want to use the app. That's the reason they're trying to incentivize you to open it and get the free stocks. Maybe that motivates you, right? If you don't plan on doing anything, don't open it. It don't make sense. I want serious people about building wealth and using paper assets to do it, and you need a good brokerage account to do it. Weeble ain't the only brokerage account out there, but it's the brokerage account I use for my everyday stuff. I got different brokerage accounts for long-term stuff that I got money in, but I don't use those brokerage accounts. I just got money over there because it's another pile of money. But what I do everyday transactions, I do that on the Weeble app. So if you guys are interested in joining me and building that magnificent 7 stock portfolio, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Nvidia, Tesla, hit that Weeble link. Also, let me know when you open the Weeble account. Just send me a DM on Instagram and let me know you opened it. And I'm gonna send you a free Weeble tutorial video to walk you through how to use the Weeble app. Basic blocking and tackling, right? Basic stuff, but that's all you need. And if you wanna go ahead and increase your level of excellence with the app, they got plenty of tools inside of the app to help you do that. That's not my forte. My forte is just basic blocking and tackling. Show me how to buy Vanguard S&P 500 VOO. Show me how to buy Vanguard Information Technology VGT. Show me how to buy Tesla. Show me how to buy Apple. That's all I need. I don't need to, I'm not gonna take advantage of everything the app has to offer, but you can. I'm just not, right? So send me an email or send me a DM when you open the Weeble account, you fund it. I'm gonna send you that tutorial video. Well, guys, I appreciate you. Y'all know it. I appreciate you. Y'all been rocking with me. Woo, it's been almost 4 years, man, since we've been starting this journey on building this financial education channel. Almost 700,000 subscribers. Almost 100,000 on Instagram. It's crazy. Started from basically zero on both of them 4 years ago. And you guys have really, really entrusted me with this, your filter system, right? You guys have entrusted me with your filter system. And hopefully I've been giving you good financial food to put in that filter system, because y'all know what you take in, you put out. You take good in, you put good out. So always take care of your filter system. Watch what you're looking at. Watch what you're listening to, because it's gonna fill up your filter system. And whatever your filter system has in it, that's what's coming out. All right? So take care of that filter system. Hopefully this content that I've been making over the last 4 years has helped, has given you that financial food that you need for your filter system. And I know it has, because many of you have told me that. So thank you for rocking with me. I want you to do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up button before we tap out of here. You guys know it's important to hit that thumbs up, because that's how YouTube grades us, right? It grades us on the number of likes. And if we get the right amount of likes, then guess what? They reward you. They reward you by shooting your content out to people that don't know you from Adam, right? So that's what I'm asking you guys to do, is hit that like for me. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like. So we can do what? Help more people get to freedom, right? We ain't got enough people in this country that are free. You know, we got 1% of the people in this country that are free. The rest of the 99% do what? Work and buy things to make them free. Let's get more people free. You ain't got to be a 1%er to be free. I'm a 99%er, but I'm free. Why? Because I understand how the 1% thinks. I understand how the 1% invests. That's just part of being able to play in this financial game we have in this country. If you don't know the rules, you can't play. You gotta learn the rules. You gotta learn the rules of the 1%, because the 1% control 99% of the wealth. So I gotta learn. I learn how to play the game from them, but that doesn't make me one of them. I'm still one of you. I'm a 99%er. I've just learned how to take information and turn that information into money, and then take that money and multiply it through assets. Without assets, I'm stuck like Chuck. When hard times come, I'm gonna get run over like a 18-wheeler running over a little bitty squirrel running across the street. And I ain't got nothing against squirrels, so don't jump on me because I use that analogy, but y'all know what I'm saying. If you ain't got assets, man, when adversity comes, financial adversity comes, you ain't gonna be able to hold up. You're gonna be in a world of trouble. So you better build assets, man. You ain't got to listen to me. Go out there and get your financial advisor. Go get one of those guys or gals. Hopefully you get the right one that has your best interest at heart. Even if you have a financial advisor, guys, you should always know what your money is being invested in. You should never give anybody full access to just invest your money however they want to invest it. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. You should always know. And again, they work for you. You should be telling them what your financial plan is. No, don't get me wrong. You'll take guidance. But at the end of the day, it's your plan. I thank you, Mr. or Mrs. I appreciate that. But I want this. You're the boss. Don't let people just do whatever they want to do because you think they're smarter than you. Forget that. Forget that. You control your own financial destiny, not somebody else. Right? Assets do three things for us. If they're the right assets, if they're assets that create passive income, they do three things for us, right? They give us more time, they give us more choices, and they give us more freedom. Those are the three things we need more of. But without assets, we don't get it. We don't get it. We don't get more of those three things. We get less. We get less. So we got to take our money that we earn. Number one tool to build wealth is what? Income. We got to take our income and we got to take care of it. We can't take it and invest it in somebody else to make them wealthy. We got to take it and invest it in us. If we do that, we get the freedom. We get the freedom, we get those three things. Time, choices, freedom, right? That's what we're looking for. That's all we do with money. Money is just a tool. We use it for those three things, nothing else. It means nothing else to us if it can't give me those three things. If I can't get those three things, I don't need money. But I know money can give me those three things. It won't make me happy, but it'll give me those three things, and then I can go chase my happiness. See, then I can go chase it and catch it and not have to worry about how I'm going to take care of myself, right? That's the ultimate goal. Why I'm doing this whole YouTube channel is to get you to freedom. So thank you for trusting me on that one. Also, share this for me, and then we tapping out. I promise. Share this video. Share it, share it, share it. Hit that thumbs up as you tap out. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness and never, ever, 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 ever stop believing in yourself. And I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.